Social media pulled the mask off everything. No filters, no edits, just raw exposure. Women started revealing what they never meant to, not in interviews, not in therapy sessions, but in TikToks, tweets, and Instagram stories, confessions disguised as empowerment, validation disguised as truth. They thought they were being bold and honest, but they were broadcasting red flags in HD. The mask didn't slip, it got discarded. Now we see the emotional debt clearly: years of unresolved trauma, bad decisions, chaos, and they expect someone else to pay it. Not metaphorically, literally, emotionally, relationally, spiritually. They want men to refinance their past, to absorb damage they didn't cause, to fix what others broke without consent. This isn't about blame, it's about clarity. Men are waking up to the pattern. The dating market isn't just broken, it's flooded with emotional liabilities and false expectations. Women brag about things that once destroyed reputations: body counts, cheating, manipulation, gold digging, entitlement. They call it empowerment, but it's exposure. They're telling on themselves, and it's irreversible. I saw a TikTok that said it all. Divorced woman, 2 kids, 32 years old. She said her new man must heal her, not support her, heal her, repair her. She said it's his job to fix trauma. Thousands of comments cheering her on. Yas queen, he should be grateful. Grateful to inherit someone else's wreckage. This is emotional debt, and it's epidemic. Every failed relationship adds to the burden. Every situationship, every pump and dump, it accumulates like interest on a credit card. And when she meets someone new, he pays. He's not dating her. He's dating her history. Her trauma becomes his responsibility. Her past becomes his present problem. Let me break it down with precision. A good man meets a seemingly perfect woman. 3 months in, she starts unloading trauma, abuse, cheating, abandonment, betrayal, instability. Suddenly, he's proving he's different every day, reassuring her constantly, walking on eggshells. He's not her partner, he's her emotional janitor, cleaning up messes he didn't make. The casual sex era created emotional bankruptcy. Women spent their 20s chasing dopamine hits, sexual attention confused with love and intimacy. Now they're 30-something, bitter and exhausted, looking for someone to blame for the fallout. And guess who gets the blame? The good man who actually wants commitment. He becomes the scapegoat for past chaos. Here's the twisted part. They know they're damaged. They know their pair bonding is compromised. They know they carry emotional baggage, but instead of healing, they demand acceptance. Take me as I am, they say. No accountability, no introspection, no growth, just entitlement wrapped in trauma narratives, and men are expected to comply silently. They want a perfect husband post-chaos, someone to ignore the past, fix the present, raise kids, absorb trauma, and stay grateful. It's delusion, not empowerment. It's dysfunction. Social media made it worse exponentially. Echo chambers reinforce the entitlement daily. Bitterness becomes boundaries, damage becomes journey. They rebrand trauma as personality traits. Every casual relationship leaves a scar. Every hookup carves out emotional residue. By the time they want stability, they're hollow, running on fumes, offering counterfeit connection. They use their bodies as currency for years. And now the currency is devalued. They want premium commitment for discounted behavior. The math doesn't work, and men notice. They spent their leverage on temporary validation. Now they want long-term investment without equity. They want investment banker loyalty, post-OnlyFans behavior, and they're shocked when men walk away. Manipulation tactics are now standard procedure. Trauma dumping early to test emotional labor, creating problems to see who solves them, pushing boundaries to test frame stability. If you don't play along, you're the problem. You're emotionally unavailable. You can't handle her, but she's not a partner. She's a project. A collection of unresolved issues in disguise. A real woman handles her own healing. She doesn't outsource accountability to her boyfriend. She doesn't punish him for her ex's sins. She doesn't demand therapy disguised as romance. The abuse dynamics are subtle but destructive. He doesn't text back. She spirals instantly. He sets boundaries. She accuses him of control. He goes out. She projects past cheating fears. He's not dating her. He's dating her ghosts. And if he asks about her past, he's insecure, judgmental, victim blaming, toxic. She wants him blind to history, but paying. It's emotional taxation without representation. Validation addiction is the root of dysfunction. Years of chasing likes, matches, attention. Now one man's love isn't enough. She needs hundreds of likes to feel alive. She needs orbiters, thirst traps, dopamine hits. Even in relationships, She seeks external validation, and when it ruins everything, it's his fault. She calls him insecure for noticing the pattern, but the pattern is undeniable and public social media reveals the addiction clearly. She can't stop posting, seeking, performing. She's addicted to attention, not connection, and men are expected to be dealers. Feeding the addiction while losing themselves, it's not love, it's dependency masked as romance. The psychological damage is permanent sometimes. They can't bond properly, can't stay satisfied. They compare every man to past amalgamations. Frankenstein's monster of 20 exes combined. You're not competing with one man. You're competing with the best traits of every past lover, and you'll always fall short in comparison because novelty always wins in her mind. The strategy failed, and now panic sets in. Hot guys pumped and dumped them early. Now providers are waking up to the game. They're stuck between men they want and men they don't respect but need for stability. Bitterness grows, resentment festers, projection intensifies. They're mad at hot guys for leaving mad at good guys for not being hot. Mad at themselves but unable to admit it. So they punish whoever shows up next. He becomes the emotional punching bag. For a decade of bad decisions, dating apps accelerated the dysfunction exponentially. 50 first dates, hundreds of matches, chaos, each one adding emotional debt and instability. By the time she wants commitment, it's too late. They gave away sex when they had a leverage. Now they want commitment when leverage is gone. They see relationships as transactions, not partnerships. What can you do for me today? How will you fix my broken past? What value can you extract from me? Never what they offer, always what they demand. It's extraction, not connection, not reciprocity. Men are waking up to the pattern. They're not signing up for emotional bankruptcy. They're not volunteering for trauma rehabilitation duty. They want peace, not chaos, not confusion. They want partnership, not therapy, not punishment. But the dating market doesn't reward stability. It rewards drama, dysfunction, and dopamine addiction. And the results are visible everywhere now. I counsel men who face this daily. They meet a woman, think she's amazing, then slowly realize they're just a cleanup crew. Their job isn't love, it's repair work. Their role isn't partner, it's emotional janitor. Their purpose isn't connection, it's damage control. And they're exhausted before love even begins because they're paying for someone else's mistakes. The accountability allergy is spreading fast. Every bad relationship was the man's fault. Every consequence was unfair, every failure circumstantial. She's never the common denominator in disaster. It's always someone else, always external blame. Ask her about her exes, watch closely. If they're all narcissists, abusers, manipulators, either she has terrible judgment or she's the problem. Probably both, and that's the real warning. A woman who can't speak kindly of exes will never speak kindly of you later. She's rehearsing her breakup narrative already. She's preparing the next victim story now, and you'll be the villain in her script, even if you were the calm one, even if you brought peace and clarity. Exceptions exist, but they're rare and quiet. Some women do the work, heal properly. They don't post body count flexes online. They don't demand men fix their trauma. They take accountability, grow, and evolve. But they're drowned out by dysfunction culture because dysfunction gets likes, shares, and attention. Healing gets ignored, mocked, or dismissed. The advice for men is brutally simple. Don't date emotional debt, walk away early. Don't pay for damage you didn't cause. Don't be someone's emotional rehabilitation center. If she can't handle her own trauma, she's not ready for a relationship with you. If her past becomes your burden, leave, because your peace is worth protecting always. Women are telling on themselves constantly. They post their red flags as content. I'm crazy, but fun. I need healing. If you can't handle me at worst, these aren't cute captions. They're warning labels. They're telling you exactly what's coming, and men need to believe those warnings, not ignore them, not romanticize dysfunction. The healing journey scam is everywhere. They talk about growth while staying toxic. They post quotes, not progress, not change. They confuse talking about problems with solving them. They're not healing. They're branding their damage. They're becoming articulate about dysfunction, not resolving it, not transforming it, and men are expected to play along. The future is bleak for these women. They're aging out of the sexual marketplace. They carry emotional debt nobody wants. They're bitter, damaged, unable to pair bond. Yet they demand premium treatment from men. Time doesn't care about their healing journey. Biology doesn't care about their boundaries. Men are waking up and walking away. The red pill movement, for all its flaws, taught men to recognize emotional debt patterns, to see signs early, to avoid traps. Every man who learns about body counts, alpha widows, trauma cycles, manipulation tactics becomes one less man willing to pay.
Hard times are here. Jobs are disappearing fast. And if you lose yours, you could be homeless in a few months or even a few weeks. But it doesn't have to be that way. Check out Angry's Creator Academy and learn how to build your own online business using YouTube to grow it. And get the free creator blueprint when you sign up. The link's in description below. Go check it out now.
The cleanup crew is going on strike, and the dating market is shifting fast. The projection is staggering and relentless. Women accuse men of emotional unavailability. While being emotional vampires themselves, they claim men fear commitment deeply while refusing to commit to stability. They say men are damaged goods while carrying more baggage than an airport. It's always projection, never reflection, never accountability. Social media gave them the rope. They used it to hang their own image. Every post about standards and trauma, every demand for healing and validation, it's all evidence, all exposure, all truth. Men can now see what's coming. No more feminine mystique, no more illusions, just raw data, raw dysfunction, raw reality. The double standards are impossible to ignore. A man with baggage must fix himself. A woman with baggage needs a fixer. A man's past disqualifies him instantly. A woman's past is just experience. A man must bring value always. A woman's presence is considered the value, and men are rejecting this imbalance now. They want traditional benefits with modern freedom. They want bad boys and good husbands. They want chaos and stability simultaneously. They want it all, deserve none of it. And they're angry that men noticed. They're angry that men stopped playing along. They're angry that the game is exposed, and the consequences are finally arriving. The trauma bonding attempts are manipulative. They try to make you feel responsible for their emotional state, their instability. If you don't text, they spiral instantly. If you set boundaries, they break down if you won't fix them. You're abandoning them. They weaponize damage to control relationships. It's emotional terrorism disguised as vulnerability. Men need to understand this clearly. You're not a rehabilitation center for trauma. You're not responsible for her poor choices. You don't owe emotional labor to strangers. Your job is to find peace, clarity, not adopt someone else's emotional chaos. If she brings debt, she's not ready, and you must walk away without guilt. The consequences are generational and systemic. These emotionally damaged women raise children. They teach daughters that accountability is optional. They teach sons that male labor is mandatory. They perpetuate dysfunction while preaching healing. They post about breaking trauma cycles while repackaging the same toxic behaviors. And the cycle continues, louder than ever. But here's the white pill for men. You have options. You have clarity now. You can refuse emotional debt completely. You can demand better, walk away early. You can choose peace over chaos. You can build without emotional sabotage. You can protect your energy and future. And that's the real power shift happening. Men need disqualifiers, not just preferences. High body count, disqualified immediately. Still talking about exes constantly. Disqualified, expects you to fix her. Disqualified, still seeking validation online. Disqualified, has unresolved emotional debt. Disqualified, be ruthless, be clear, be unapologetic, because they would be if roles reversed. Women reveal their nature through complaints. When they say men won't step up, they're revealing they need saving, not partnership. When they say men fear emotions, they're revealing their emotional black holes. When they say men fear commitment, they're revealing they're desperate for stability. Listen closely. The complaints are confessions.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.